Hello and welcome to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name is Jeremiah Krakowski. Listen, this is the podcast where I help you grow in your life and in your business, because if you grow in your life, your mindset, it affects business growth. If you grow in business, you have more money, you can do more, influence more people, get more done. Listen, today, I want to talk about what is your purpose? Do you know what your purpose is? How to find it, and what the next steps are when you do this. Now, the premise of this is that I believe that we are all created by God with a purpose and a destiny. Now, I don't need you to believe exactly what I believe spiritually or religiously to get value from this. I promise you that. I'm making this in a sense to help 100% of everybody on the planet Earth get more results and make more money in a business that is tied to their purpose. And that's what this episode is about specifically. Man, I cannot wait to dive into this. We've been talking about it on my social media this week, and I've noticed a lot of people, they are either afraid, worried, anxious based on what other people's opinions are, what they think, what they've been told in the past, and what's happened about going after their purpose, and it's stopping them from doing the very thing that they were created for. Now, here's the deal. Your purpose and your identity are not the same things. What you do and who you are not the same things. And this is a big paradigm shift for a lot of people, is they believe what other people do is who they are. That is the perception of who they are. It is not who they are. And that's the difference. To us individually, we see somebody, somebody that does a horrible thing, terrible thing. We say that person is XYZ bad. No, they did bad things. And so our perception based on that is they are a bad person. I also, there are just people that have gone through stuff. I'm not going to dive into the psychology of that or the theology of that if we want to dive into that. But I want to focus on this for you right now, is dive in personally with you to give you a roadmap to help you find your purpose, find your calling in your life, and help you walk out the calling, plans, and destiny that God has for you. Now, if you listen through this podcast, I talk about how nothing is impossible. Human potential is limitless, but we have to put it into action to get results, and that action is in the face of fear to go find our breakthrough, okay? But many people don't know what action to take. They don't even know which direction to point in. They're pointing from the left and to the right. They're tossed to and fro, and they don't know where to go, what to do. And so there's a lot of things out there to find your purpose, a lot of methods. I stumbled upon this by accident, and I was talking with a friend of mine. His name's John Redembo, and we were talking about purpose. He has a ministry that he helps people do this with. And if you want to get connected with him, let me know. He helps people find their purpose when it comes to business, finance, things like that. But here's what I want to talk about for you, is pointing the needle of the GPS of your roadmap to your purpose. Meaning having a starting point. Listen, if I look on the map, today from where I'm at in Austin, Texas, and I want to go to Salt Lick Barbecue, for example, there's 2, maybe 3 Salt Licks in Austin. And that's how a lot of people are with their purpose, is they look at their life and maybe there's 5 different directions they could go. They're all opposite of each other, but they're like, I know that it's one of them. And here's what I want to say, is that if you just pick randomly one of them, you're going to have a good time. You're going to be on a path that will help you towards your purpose. But a lot of people, they go in the slowest possible way to reach their destiny. Now, I'm not saying that what you do is your destiny. I'm not saying that. Your purpose is only tied to what you do. It is not your destiny. It is not your identity at all. This is not a topic about destiny. What I want to say is this: I cannot tell you for you what your destiny is. I can't even tell you for you what your purpose is. I do coach people and I do help them with that, asking strategic questions, just talking back and forth. I have a method to where I can get on the phone with you for 30 minutes to an hour to identify your purpose and create a business plan for you to go execute that. And that's what I do when I coach executives and leaders and help find them a place, or if they already have a business, the purpose of their business and what we need to do to reach that purpose, which is to make money, but to get more customers, to get more traffic, and to communicate that. And so that's what I do as consulting with people. But there's a process that you can do personally right now, listening to this podcast. You're either in your car, you're doing something, maybe you're at the gym, maybe you are at the computer, you're laying on the couch, maybe you're watching me on your TV, something like that. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, go subscribe to that. We've actually renamed this the hashtag Grow Your Life University. And the podcast and the daily videos that I do every day on social media are a part of it. And if you're not plugged into those, go follow me on Facebook. Go follow me on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. I post content every single day related to growing your life. And then there's a private Facebook group with people just like yourself working in this exercise to find their purpose, to find their destiny, to walk down that path. I'm not here to help you identify your destiny. In fact, I don't believe anybody can tell you what your destiny is but your relationship with you and God. Other people can help point you in a direction that is closer to the straight line path of it, but I don't think any one person can give you exactly what it is. There's a series of that, and we meet people in different phases in our life and things like that. Now, there are people as well, I do believe that they're closer to the mark than others when they give advice to people. They're a lot closer and a lot more accurate. And there's friends of mine that I know that are consultants, that they go into companies to tell them exactly what to do at what time. They even work, with the government to help them on decisions and to be an advisor. And that's a role of advisor to leadership. And that's something that even, that I do in my consulting, is advising leadership in decision making. And people are more accurate or not in that. I'm not saying that I am the most accurate. In fact, I've recently only begun to do this on the level that I am right now to help people in business. But I want to help you identify what your purpose is in the path for you to go. And I want you to start with this. What are those things that you always get in trouble for wasting time with? What are those bad habits that you have? What are those things? I did a video today on this, and for me it is playing video games, binge watching TV shows on Netflix, arguing on social media, dreaming, zoning out. You get it? And yet at the same time, and when I was younger, it was listening to too much just music that was melting my brain. And even as I'm saying this right now, some of you are like getting triggered. You're like, wait a sec, what does this have to do with my purpose? Those bad habits of yours are an indicator that you can use in a formula to identify your purpose. And so it's the first part of the formula right here. And I might actually develop this into a math equation for people. So what are those bad habits? You got to answer those for yourself. I don't know. Maybe yours is eating too much. It's generally a bad habit is consuming. It has to do with consuming. Consumer. I just scroll on social media a lot. I love watching TV with the commercials. You get it? And so as a kid, I always did these things that were zoning me out in certain ways, and yet they pointed to my purpose and my destiny. And I want to say this. I'm so thankful to have been raised in a way that my passions were encouraged. And I want to tell this to parents. If you have a child that has a bad habit of doing something that you say is either frying their brain or wasting their time, listening to this podcast, I think it might help you identify something to encourage your children in and lead them and encourage them in that thing in a productive way. What happens is people get so caught up in doing these bad habits, these things that aren't helping them because they're passionate about them. They passionately want to do them. And a lot of times too, the dopamine response in their brain has them addicted to doing it. You get it? And maybe you are addicted to doing certain things. Addiction in some way. I would bet you that whatever those guilty pleasures are, those addictions maybe, that you or maybe people that you know, especially if you have kids, people that you're mentoring, that you're leading, they point to an area of purpose. Now, I know that I've lost some people after I said that. For those of you that have continued to listen to me, I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you are open-minded enough to explore this. Or maybe you're just like, what is he going to say next? This is either going to end really well or it's going to be a train wreck. I'm excited to help show you this right here. This is going to be awesome. Now ask yourself this. So the first one, has to do with guilty habits. What are those bad habits? What are those things? Mine were video games, binge watching, arguing on social media, zoning out on social media, just zoning out to any sort of media type of a thing, okay? Zoning out, listening to podcasts, even reading too many books on too many topics could be one of those things and one of those bad habits. We all have it. We all have them. Those bad habits are an indicator of your purpose, just the opposite direction of your purpose. And yet, if you try to avoid those things or anything related to those bad habits, you would actually be missing out on your purpose. And so my next question is this. If you knew you couldn't fail and success was guaranteed, what would you do with your life? If you knew that failure wasn't possible and success was 100% guaranteed, what would you do with your life? To make money, to fulfill yourself, to be fulfilled. For me, the number one thing is to spend time with my wife and to build a family and a family legacy and kids, to have kids and to create books and media and to educate people and to create music and movies and video games and television shows and novels and to help empower other people to dream bigger, to find their purpose, to dream for the impossible, to press into that in their life. Now, the third question is this. If you knew that you were going to die in 30 days, what would you do with that time? For me, it would be to go find a beach somewhere, spend time with my wife, writing, playing video games, binging on Netflix. But most of my time would be writing. And you notice how those three things have some common denominators in them? And those writings that I would do would be related to helping people find their destiny, find their calling, find the very thing in the face of what they fear the most. That's what I would do. And actually, maybe instead of writing, I would just be recording a lot of videos, a lot of audio. I would record myself audio tapes of that. Are you starting to get a picture of what I'm saying here? Right now, I record daily videos every single day. I record a podcast. I watch TV shows on Netflix and I play video games. But I only do the guilty pleasures 5 to 10% of the time in a healthy way. And I've been making a relationship with my wife be my number one goal. And spending time in content creation, writing, planning, building relationships, building a network so that maybe I can make video games, write books, make a TV series, a movie. You get it? To empower people to dream bigger for where they were called to go. And if you're still not getting it at this point, I want to say this. I'm sharing my own personal with you to do the exercise yourself, to ask those questions. What are those guilty pleasures? What are those things that people tell me waste my time, that I should stop doing, that don't benefit me towards my goals? Just safely, vulnerably answer that for yourself. Or you can go into the Grow Your Life community and share that with people. And share the answers to this exercise with people. That's what I would invite people to do, is if you want some help with this, is it's a group of people that we can help work together to grow in our lives and in our destiny and in our purpose. So maybe answer those questions, as much as you're willing to share. But vulnerably for yourself in your quiet time personally, where nobody but you and God are listening, answer those questions. What are those guilty pleasures? What are those habits? What are those things that you just can't get enough of, but you know they're not helping you? And if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do with your life? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you talk to? What questions would you ask? What would you learn? What would you discover? What interactions would you have with the world around you? And if you knew you only had 30 days to live, what would you spend your time doing with those 30 days? It's not a morbid question. It's purely to live. You see, a lot of people say they have a bucket list. I say you need to have a list of how to live an abundant life. And so for me, like I said, writing, and maybe not just writing, it would probably not even be writing. Writing would be a waste of my time because of the bandwidth limitations of putting pen to paper. So I would speak for 30 days and record myself on video so my inflections and all that were recorded, and create content. That way I could set my wife up financially for success. Just download everything that I know onto a piece of paper, to record everything, to download it. That way it could be disseminated and put out there. And there's a lot of people in their life, great people, that on their deathbed they do this. What if you spent the rest of your life doing that one thing that you said that you would do if you only had 30 days to live? And why aren't you doing that thing right now? What is stopping you from doing that thing? So for example, like I said, I know that I'm not dying in 30 days, so I don't have to dedicate 30 days of my life to just recording my audio, recording video. But what I've done is I've split it up. One 10-minute video every single day. I've been doing that for 6 months now. There's an archive of videos. That's why I call it the Grow Your Life University, that people could take no matter where they are in their life right now and go through that video series and learn to make $100,000 in a business. It's a blueprint for you in that to make $100,000 in a business. Listen, I know how I can help anybody make $50,000 to $100,000 in less than 6 months. And what's in these podcasts and in that archive is a blueprint for that. Now, they're not disseminated in a start to finish way because I was extracting it. I was getting it out of me at that time. But I want to say this. I want to say this to you. Answer those questions for yourself, okay? And then ask yourself, why am I not doing that? And what do I need to learn to do that? And then go to the Grow Your Life community on Facebook, #Grow Your Life, and ask and say, hey, listen, I want to figure out how to start doing this. I want to learn how to start doing this, and ask questions. I've designed that group and this program in a way that it attracts like-minded people to help each other grow in each other's needs and desires and what we're trying to go after. You don't have to put it all out there. You don't have to put your NDA level, non-disclosure level business plans in the group. Don't do that. That's not wise to do, because you'll just have somebody in the group taking it and applying it to themselves. But yours might be, hey, how do I get some good coders and developers to make an app? How do I start with Facebook ads? How do I set up a website? And if your question is, how do I set up a website? I created a course. It's called Website Building Made Easy. It's on my website. It's a 10-hour course where I walk you through step by step everything that I've learned over the last 15 years of building websites in Squarespace so that you can build websites that get results quickly and easily. And so that's my little shameless plug. That's kind of what pays the bills for me to do this. Maybe you're wondering, hey, how do I extract high-level vision and strategy for my life? I have this ethereal thing. I want to coach you, and I want to do it for free. And I have on the Grow Your Life Instagram, on my Instagram. It's not Grow Your Life, but it's my Instagram, Jeremiah Krakowski. If you leave hashtag Grow Your Life in the feed on my Instagram, Jeremiah Krakowski, I pick one winner every single week on Sunday, and I post it on my Instagram stories to win a free 30-minute coaching call with me where I work through this process with them. I just did it yesterday with a friend of mine. We came up with a business plan. 30 minutes. That's all it takes. I want to give you for free, one person, 30 minutes of my time every single week. Now, here's the deal, you guys. I haven't told anybody about this before. Normally, I charge $1,500 an hour to consult with people. But I have a special rate for people that listen to the Grow Your Life podcast. And if you're interested in that, if you're interested in talking about that, I'm not going to give it away on this podcast because it might change over time. And I know that I can't honor this even $1,500 a month in the future, $1,500 a session in the future, $1,500, an hour. But I know that whatever it is that I'm doing now, we can work out a deal with you. And if you're really interested in coaching, I want to be able to do that with you. Like I said, I'm giving coaching away for free on my Instagram. But if you want to maybe spend some time, talk about this, you can DM me. We can get in a conversation. And if you say, hey, listen, I want to know what pricing is for coaching to take this to the next level, we can talk about that and we can see what that looks like. I believe in you, and I know that you can accomplish anything, and the impossible is possible for you. Take a look at where you're at right now in your life. Take a look at what are those things.
The free dictionary. Take a look. To glance or look at someone or something, especially in a quick, informal, or nonchalant manner. Hey, Barry, come take a look at this engine and see if you can tell what's wrong with it.
Wow. My phone actually just did that. That's actually really funny. It was talking about the meaning of take a look. Take a look at this. Take a look at this process. That wasn't even intentional, but that was hilarious because that definition helped define this. Don't be so afraid to take a look at the thing that you fear the most that you stop yourself from going after your calling and your destiny. I believe in you. I know that you can do it. Ask yourself these questions. What are those bad habits? What would I do if I knew I couldn't fail? And if I only had 30 days to live, what would I do? And if you feel comfortable enough, maybe posting some of those in the group, we can get in a conversation with people and share what are the results? What direction are you thinking, your purpose is in? Like I said, your purpose are the stops along the way on the path to your destiny. If you look up a restaurant, like I said, Salt Lick Barbecue, there's a few of them. I could go to any of the 5 locations in Austin, okay? I could go to any of the 5 locations in Austin of Salt Lick Barbecue. There's only 3 at the time of me recording this, but I sure hope there's 5. I want one right down the street from me. But if I have a friend that's there, and my friend and I are going to Dallas, and he's at another location, it's going to take me an hour longer to detour along the way. And so this process helps you identify your purpose to go to the right location at the right time of knowing what to do, when, and to start from the right place to reach your destination faster. And so let's say you've been moving like a GPS to the left and to the right. Think of it like a compass needle, okay? A compass needle points to north. But if you're not facing north, the compass needle is going to point in a different direction. And so that's why the compass needle tells you if you're facing east or west. And so this exercise helps you point your personal compass needle to true north. It might not be the exact direction of true north, but if you head that way and you keep with the compass and you keep asking that question along the way, maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, reevaluating the answers to those questions, I promise you that it's going to point to your destiny. It's going to point you to your calling. It's going to point you to the fulfillment that you're looking for in life. Don't be so afraid of what that might look like that you're not even willing to explore it. Fear is a liar, and whatever's stopping you right now and keeping you from even looking at this or even thinking about it, or it's making you agitated, has no place and no power over you at all unless you give it power. Stop giving up the power and the authority of your destiny and your purpose to fear. Fear is there to keep you safe, to keep you where you're at right now, to keep you in a comfort zone. And it does a really good job of doing that. But it is not a good indicator of growth. And so fear also is a very similar emotion to excitement. And so now I've actually traded my association of the feeling of fear with excitement. And now I realize, wow, I'm excited to head in this direction. I'm excited to push the envelope a little bit, to meet people where they're at, and to help point them in the right direction. Like I said to you, even if you don't believe in God, like I said, I believe God has a plan and a purpose for everybody's life, and God created everything, and we're all created by God with a purpose. But even if you don't believe in that, this exercise still works. And you can test me on that, and you can test it out. And if you're somebody that does believe in God, does believe in prayer, or even if you have never prayed before, try this out. Just say, just do it. Answer those questions and say, God, show me what you want me to do in this, and what do you want me to look at and take a look at and then explore, and just take a look at that. And even if you've never prayed before, take a look at what maybe pops in your head or you think about when you try that, what you feel. I believe that nothing is impossible, and that limitless possibilities are actually probable realities for people. And what you dream of, and dreaming big, audacious, possibly delusional dreams for where you are now, point you to the direction of your calling and your destiny. And when those four things get into alignment, east, west, south, and then north, and your dreams are in alignment, and you're headed in the direction of your purpose, you're headed towards true north, towards your destiny. And keep going along the way. Keep plugging into that GPS. Keep checking that out. Keep pointing your compass in that direction. And if you feel off track, try this exercise again and just ask those questions of yourself. And then try prayer out. Say, God, what are you trying to show me through this? You won't recognize your life a year from now. I did a program on the podcast. It's called 7-Day Life Transformation Program. And I give a process of doing this over the course of 7 days. And you can take that formula, and if you do that consistently for 7 days, obviously I can't guarantee if you're actually going to take action. But for those of you that really do and really walk in faith in that, massive things are probable. Can't guarantee anything, but there's a pretty good indicator that that's a good direction for you. And again, like I said, I can't be the one to tell you your destiny. If I tried that, man, I'd be, I can't guarantee what somebody's destiny is at all, ever. I can't guarantee even those that I coach and consult, because I only know what I'm hearing. What you have to do is you have to personally keep your promises to yourself. Keep up with the still small voice inside your head and what it's telling you. And if your thoughts are going all directions, focus on things that are serving you and not what is not. And maybe you might need to shut off TV, Netflix, video games for a little bit of time. Maybe 90% of the time, and cut it down. Like I have. Maybe you need to spend more time with friends and family. We grow in community. We grow in community together with those that we love, and it starts with those that we've always loved the most. And building family is the greatest generational wealth that you can do. And as a man, your greatest wealth is your wife. And as people, our greatest wealth is our network and people we know. This is incredible, you guys. Grow your life, everybody. I want to speak to some of the men here. If you're not listening to what your wife says and her wisdom, there's a good chance that you might be off track. And wives, if you're afraid to encourage your husbands, he needs it. And if you're having some trouble in your marriage, some counseling might do you guys some good. I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a counselor, but it points to an indicator of where your destiny and purpose is. Grow your life, everybody. If you haven't already, follow me on Instagram. Leave hashtag Grow Your Life on any post that I make throughout the week to win a free Grow Your Life coaching session with me. And I post it every Sunday on the Instagram story. Leave hashtag Grow Your Life in the comments on any post within the first 10 minutes of me posting. As a comment, leave hashtag Grow Your Life. Like you type it in there with your fingers. Hashtag Grow Your Life in the comments on my Instagram. It's not on my live. It's not on my Facebook. It's on my Instagram feed. And I pick one person every single week on Sunday to win a free 30-minute coaching session with me. I believe in you, and I know that it is possible for you to do great things, and greatness is inside of you, and it has been there since the day you were born. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.